Falling from the sky. The unbelievable stories of survival. Imagine looking out of an airplane window at 30,000 feet. Now, imagine the floor beneath you suddenly vanishes, and you are falling through the empty air, plunging toward the earth at terminal velocity. For most, this is the ultimate nightmare. But for a select few, it was a terrifying reality, and against all laws of physics and probability, they lived to tell the tale. The flight attendant who defied gravity. Our story begins in 1972, high above the mountains of Czechoslovakia. Vesna Vulovic, a 22-year-old flight attendant, was working on Jet Flight 367. Suddenly, a briefcase bomb exploded in the cargo hold, tearing the aircraft apart. As the debris scattered into the freezing air, Vesna was trapped inside a small section of the fuselage, pinned by a food cart. She plummeted 33,330 feet. That is over 6 miles straight down. She landed on a snow-covered, heavily wooded mountainside. The combination of the angled slope, the cushioning snow, and her own low blood pressure, which kept her heart from bursting upon impact, saved her life. She holds the official Guinness World Record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute, lost in the Amazon rainforest. Just 1 year earlier, on Christmas Eve, 1971, another miracle occurred. 17-year-old Julianne Kopcha was flying over the Peruvian rainforest when her plane was struck by lightning. The aircraft broke apart in midair. Julianne, still strapped to her 3-seat bench, spun through the air before crashing through the dense canopy of the Amazon jungle. The thick leaves and branches slowed her descent just enough. When she woke up the next morning, she had a broken collarbone and deep cuts. But she was alive. Alone in one of the most dangerous environments on Earth, she used the survival skills her scientist parents had taught her. She followed a small stream for 11 days, battling insects and hunger, until she finally found a group of local fishermen who rescued her. The miracle of physics or pure luck? How is this even possible? Scientists explain that when a person falls from a plane, they reach terminal velocity, about 120 miles per hour. At that speed, hitting flat ground is almost always fatal. To survive, you need a perfect storm of variables. A decelerator? Trees? Snow? Or even a swamp to break the fall gradually. The right angle? Landing on a steep slope rather than a flat surface to deflect the impact energy. The structure, remaining attached to a piece of debris that acts as a crude glider or shield. These survival stories are incredibly rare, defying the absolute limits of human endurance. They remind us that even in the most hopeless situations, the human body and spirit can sometimes achieve the impossible. The parachute failure and the miracle mud. Sometimes the danger doesn't come from an exploding airliner, but from a sporting jump gone horribly wrong. In 1999, Joan Murray, a veteran skydiver, leaped from a plane at 14,500 feet. As she neared the ground, her main parachute failed to open. She cut it away and deployed her reserve, but it twisted, spinning her out of control. She slammed into the ground at 80 miles per hour. But Joan didn't land on concrete or hard dirt. She crashed directly into a massive mound of fire ants. The impact broke her bones and knocked her unconscious, but the hundreds of ant stings actually saved her life. The venom shocked her nervous system, keeping her heart beating and her adrenaline pumping until paramedics arrived. Falling through a thunderstorm. Perhaps the most intense survival story belongs to military pilots. In 1959, Lieutenant Colonel William Rankin was flying his F-8 Crusader jet at 47,000 feet when the engine failed. He was forced to eject directly into a massive, violent thunderstorm. Instead of falling straight to the ground, Rankin was trapped inside the storm's powerful updrafts. For over 40 minutes, the storm blasted him with hail, freezing temperatures, and lightning. The extreme air pressure caused his skin to bleed, but his parachute kept him suspended in the air like a rag doll. Eventually, the storm released him, and he drifted down into a forest, suffering from severe frostbite and decompression sickness, but miraculously alive. The power of resilience. These incredible stories show us that the line between life and death can be incredibly thin. While the odds of surviving a fall from the sky are nearly impossible, these individuals prove that sometimes nature, physics, and a fierce will to live can combine to create a true miracle.